The government says the economy is growing. So, why does it feel like most of our small businesses are barely staying afloat? Let's talk about it. A couple of days ago, Reuters published this article touting US GDP growth. But in the article, they also note that the numbers don't necessarily reflect our day to day reality as businesses and consumers. So, what's really going on with the economy? And what can we as small businesses do about it? First, we have to realize that recent GDP rises have largely been due to declining imports, not strong internal economic growth, which for most of us as small businesses is much more important of an economic indicator. The report goes on to claim that consumer spending grew moderately, but did it really? Or are we simply paying more for the same goods and services? Personally, when I hear that consumer spending increased, it seems to imply that Americans have more disposable income. But that's not necessarily the case. Consumer spending reports are typically either based on nominal spending, meaning it doesn't account for inflation, or real spending, which does account for inflation. Either way, simply reporting that consumer spending grew without distinguishing which type of spending can be a little misleading. Is it intentional? I'll let you decide. I have my own opinion about that though. Politics. The report also claims that business investment, especially in equipment, dropped sharply. I don't know about you, but this is not a good sign for me as a small business owner. My business is based on other businesses making investments in their operations. So, if national data shows that businesses are investing less in their operations and capacity, for me, that's highly problematic. This and other factors lead to what small business owners actually feel: lower demand, uncertainty in hiring and planning, rising costs, slower consumer foot traffic, and cautious spending. So, why do these discrepancies exist in the first place? Well, these types of reports are misleading, intentionally or not, because they are inherently flawed when it comes to the accuracy that we, the average Joe just trying to make it, can actually base our decisions on. First off, GDP is one big number that masks a lot of internal weakness. It's the same thing with other indicators like S&P trade volume, market volatility, etc. Just because, say, BlackRock is experiencing record profits does not mean that we are on our level. Second, declining imports makes GDP seem healthier than it is. It's like because you made an A in a math class, it doesn't mean you truly understand algebra, right? Maybe you just did good enough in other areas that specific struggles didn't prevent you from earning an A.
Hmm, I see.
Third, these stats are backward looking, but in small businesses, we operate in real time. So just because shit was all good a week ago doesn't mean it's all good today. It would be nice if we could pay our operational expenses that way, but we can't. Finally, these types of reports are not scaled. What do I mean? Small businesses don't always benefit from macroeconomic trends the way large corporations do. And we don't usually have the backing of rich investors. Hell, most of us get our operating budget directly from our revenue. So it's genuinely impossible for these reports to accurately reflect what we face on a day to day. So, as small businesses, how do we counteract the disconnect? Well, we have to know our microeconomy and don't rely too much on national headlines. Things like studying local demographics using US Census Bureau and other resources will allow us to understand the age, income levels, household sizes, and employment industries of our immediate customer base. We can then tailor our products, services, and pricing to what our neighbors can afford and truly need, since broader national averages may not apply. Also, we need to observe and analyze local spending habits. This means we need to pay closer attention to real world spending patterns. For example, are local events in your area drawing crowds, or are they struggling to turn a profit? What time of the year does demand for your products or services surge, and why? Do you talk to your customers directly to find out about their preferences and spending priorities? And I know that's not always comfortable, but in an economic climate like this, we gotta do what we gotta do, y'all.
I was like, oh, say less.
We can also invest strategically in ROI focused digital tools, customer retention, and making sure that we're lean in our operation. Prioritizing digital tools with clear ROI means that we're investing in tools that enhance efficiency and customer reach. This includes things like upgrading an e-commerce store to prioritize local online orders, implementing a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, to better serve and track our clients. And honestly, who in 2025 isn't using a CRM? Hit me up, I got you. We can also optimize our website for local SEO. These types of tools offer rapid and measurable return on investment through increased sales, reduced costs, or by improving customer experiences. We can also double down on local customer retention. Now, we all know that retaining existing customers is cheaper than acquiring new ones. So, implement a loyalty program, personalize local promotions, and get back to email marketing or local social media groups that help us stay connected to our community. Get lean. No, not the drink.
Stop it. Get some help.
But look for ways to reduce waste and increase efficiency without sacrificing your quality. For example, can you renegotiate terms with local suppliers? Maybe you can optimize your inventory management or cross-train employees to maximize your staff's flexibility. The goal being to create a more agile business that can adapt quickly to changes in local demand or economic conditions. Also, make data-driven decisions. Use internal metrics like cash flow, customer churn, etc. over economic forecasts. At times like this, tracking your business's income and outgoing cash on a daily or weekly basis is vital. This means we have to ignore these types of vague economic forecasts and instead focus on our actual receivables and payables. We also need to measure and reduce customer churn. Now, we all love them, but we can't prioritize new customers. Rather, we need to value our existing customers and make sure that we're not losing the people who made our business possible, the people who have already spent money with us. And if we have a way of regaining the ones that we've lost, we should do so. Having high churn is like having a leaky bucket. It makes growth unsustainable, and it has to be addressed directly with our local customers and clients. We also need to use KPIs for actionable insights. What does that mean? It means identify 3 to 5 crucial performance indicators specific to your business and track them consistently, like a crazed stalker. Metrics like average transaction value for customers, repeat purchase rates, local marketing conversion rates, cost of goods sold, etc., provide specific, measurable indicators of our business's health and highlight areas for improvement and opportunities. The fact is, we can thrive despite the external forces. At the end of the day, a small business in this psychotic economic climate we're in has to focus on what we can control. Things like customer relationships, having efficient systems, and tracking our employee engagement with our customers. We also need to focus on creating value locally. We can partner with other local businesses, and we can make sure that we're active in our local communities. We also need to stay light on our feet.
Adios, hasta la vista.
In uncertain times, being small means being nimble, and our size allows us to adapt faster than our large corporate competitors. We also should be leveraging technology, especially AI. We should automate tasks, use the tech to improve marketing ROI, and lower our operational costs. And we have to think beyond 2025. This means that we're playing a long game or staying lean in the short term. So I guess what I want you to take away from this entirely too long video is don't get discouraged by the headlines. You're not pessimistic, you're not tripping. There is a gap between national stats and small business ownership. But with the right mindset and strategy, we can bridge that gap. And we have to, because after all, it's us, small to medium businesses, that truly make America great.
Yes, definitely.
Like, comment, and share if you've been feeling this disconnect. And subscribe for more breakdowns on economic news that actually matter to your business. Y'all know my motto, hustle smarter, man. Peace.